Today I have a nature-inspired birthday card, and I'm using a new Artful card kit called Nature's Walk, and a few other cute products. So if you like this card, please stick with me and I'll show you how to make it. Today I will be using this small flourish stamp set, and it has 3 stamps. These ones are mirror images of each other. And then the Nature's Walk ribbon set, as well as these burlap blossoms, and the color is called pistachio. So pretty green there, and it matches really nicely with the Nature's Walk Artful card kit. And here's just a preview of that. You've got your 7 pattern papers and sheet of cutouts, greetings and blanks included, and 3 sheets of die cuts. Some really fun nature-inspired images there. Alright, so with that, let's get started. So I've got my blank card here. It's 6.5 inches tall by 5 inches wide. And first I'm going to cover it with this kind of a burlap texture paper. So normal process for that is just put some glue stick or your adhesive of choice on the card. And place the paper on there. With glue stick it's easy to kind of finagle it to be perfectly lined up. Then I simply turn it over, and you can do this with either scissors or an X-Acto knife. This is the retractable knife. And I just go along the edge of the card. And you can also do this with a ruler if you're more comfortable, so that your knife doesn't accidentally cut into the card. There we go. Okay. Then this side. Alright, I've placed my card on some scrap paper, and now I'm going to stamp a border around my card. So I want to use this Deep Lagoon Fluid Chalk ink by Colorbox, and I've got my stamp all ready to go here. Looks like my ink pad could use some more ink, but actually semi-dry ink pads can also create a pretty image. So I'm just going to go around the card like a frame, creating a full border. And you can keep going the same way, or you can do it mirror image. I'll just try that out, see how it looks. I just think it looks really pretty going off the edge of the card. And basically just keep going around, just touching each of the images so it looks continuous. And when I'm done with it, I will be right back. So I've let this dry, and it only takes a second really. And I've cleaned off my stamp because I'm going to use it again. But first, I'm going to use, this is called an embossing pouch or a perfect printing pouch. It might look different in different makers, but you basically just brush it over your card before you stamp to emboss. And it makes the embossing powder fall right off, so that it only sticks to the stamped image. I'm pretty sure it's probably just a pillow with like cornstarch or something in there to give it a non-stick type of thing. But anyway, so I have my stamp, my Versamark ink pad, and some clear embossing powder. And I'm going to go ahead and ink up my stamp. And I'm going to go right around the same border. I'm not going to match up any of the images. I'm just going to do just a different border on top of what I've already done in the deep lagoon. So I can stamp, then ink up again. And if you kind of turn the card, you can see where you just stamped. So you kind of just aim and go. And I don't know if you can see where the light hits it, but I've stamped all around the border. Now I'm going to take some clear embossing powder and sprinkle that on. Alright, and now I'm going to shake off the excess. That's why this sheet of scratch paper is very handy. Tap it a bit. And there you can see exactly where the embossing powder landed. And it looks like there's not much stray specks of embossing powder, so that's good. That's the beauty of the embossing pouch. And now I'm going to go ahead and heat emboss this. Oh, and here's the thing I forgot. If you glue your paper on with glue stick and then emboss on top of it, it will curl, which isn't terrible. You can always bend it back. However, what I would do and suggest you do is to just cut out a piece of paper to fit the card, do your heat embossing first, and then glue it on the card, and everything will stay nice and flat. But you can also, with this type of glue stick, take paper off very carefully, depending on how heavy you did with the glue stick. And if this card is not salvageable, you can also put it on a new blank card, which is probably what I'll have to do. But that's okay. Live and learn from your mistakes, and hopefully I've given you a helpful tip. And there I have it on a new card, nice and flat. So I salvaged my card front here. And now I'm going to move on to embellishing it. So I've cut out or punched out a few of the die cuts. I've got this lovely label with the wood grain oval and this swirl. And I've also cut out the birthday wishes. Oh, and this also oval type label. I also cut out the birthday wishes cut out from the sheet of greetings. And you'll see it's got a wider border around it than I cut out because I wanted to cut it small enough to fit inside this label here. So you can cut it, you know, a little bit closer to the words, and then I cut little notches in the sides. And that's gonna go on there. And then I also have some ribbon and this lovely pistachio burlap blossom, and notice the burlap matches the burlap background, kind of cute. So these are the basic pieces of my card, but I'll just go ahead and finish it up. I'll add some more paper as well, and I will show you what I did when I return. Alright, so here is my finished card. So I have to tell you how I did this little strip of green leaf paper. It's about a 1/2 inch in width, and what I did was I cut out the strip a little longer than 5 inches, and I covered it in the Versamark and embossed the whole thing with the clear embossing powder. And as I tilt the card, you can see how shiny it is. It ended up being covered up mostly by other stuff, but it's got a little bit of the glossy tint that the swirly flourish border has. So then I have the brown swirl die cut glued down right here, and the large label foam taped. On top of that, foam taped the smaller label and glued the birthday wishes on top. Now these ribbons here are just pieces of the yellow crepe ribbon knotted, and then just cut a V shape out of the end of each. And the knots I used to attach them are actually the 3D knots, which To me, they're a lot stickier than regular Zots, but they also have that dimension to them. So they're almost like a combination between foam tape and Zots. So they've got maybe less than an 1/8 inch thickness. And so I used that to glue down both these knotted ribbons and the burlap flower. And the burlap flower has a little bit of a point on the back of it, so if I press it down, it stuck really well to the 3D Zots because it's kind of like a gooey, sticky material. Alright, so here is my card. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And please stay tuned for today's bundle. Thanks for watching. First in the bundle, we have the Nature's Walk Artful Card Kit. Here's the first page. Really pretty. And we've got just a scattering of different images and textures, all based on the beauty of nature. This one's a really pretty floral border, large border across that edge. And they're red and yellow. This is one of my favorite prints. This is a really nice, pretty deep blue with some bright green flourishes. A wood grain. This is the sheet of cutouts, so you've got plenty of pre-done greetings, as well as some blanks for you to fill in and customize. And the 3 sheets of die cuts. So we've got plenty of variety in the shape and size. Some are images, some are labels, some are borders. Some really pretty flowers and dragonflies, and here's a nice bird. Some swirls. There's a really pretty border. With that is also the Nature's Walk ribbon set. And this comes with 6 different ribbons that are specially chosen to coordinate perfectly with the Nature's Walk Artful Card Kit. Also coordinating are these really pretty burlap blossom set. Now it's got blossoms, but it also has these butterflies. And it creates a nice texture, and the green matches perfectly the Artful Card Kit as well. These are put out by Petaloo. And then finally the small stamp. This is the small flourish stamp set. We've got the large flourish, and then these 2 small ones are mirror images of each other. So you could intertwine them, you can make a border with them, a frame. Flourishes are so versatile. And that is the last item in today's bundle. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next week.